part of the reason why I wanted to talk about the left and right responsibility to Charlie Kirk is because I was disappointed in what I heard a lot of right wing people say, especially with the Jimmy Kimmel firing. And I wanted to see if you're on the same page as me. If not, if you can point out why I'm incorrect and how I should change my thinking. I was disappointed. I'll start with JD Vance and Pam Bondi. I was disappointed with the JD Vance speech or whatever. I forget what he was on when he was talking about. He basically was saying it's not about unity.
There is no unity with people who scream at children over their parents' politics. There is no unity with someone who lies about what Charlie Kirk said in order to excuse his murder. There is no unity with someone who harasses an innocent family the day after the father of that family lost a dear friend. There is no unity with the people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there is no unity with the people who fund these articles, who pay the salaries of these terrorist sympathizers, who argue that Charlie Kirk, a loving husband and father, deserved a shot to the neck because he spoke words with which they disagree. Did you know that the George Soros Open Society Foundation and the Ford Foundation, the groups who funded that disgusting article justifying Charlie's death, do you know they benefit from generous tax treatment? They are literally subsidized by you and me, the American taxpayer. And how do they reward us? By setting fire to the house built by the American family over 250 years. I am desperate for our country to be united in condemnation of the actions and the ideas that killed my friend. I want it so badly that I will tell you a difficult truth. We can only have it with people who acknowledge that political violence is unacceptable, and when we work to dismantle the institutions that promote violence and terrorism in our own country.
And Pam Bondi, this was more egregious, I think, talking about hate speech.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
Yeah, she really stepped in it with that.
Yeah, I thought that was just
I think she
gross.
meant to say incitement to violent speech and stepped in it by conflating speech that incites violence and speech that's
do you think that? I have a hard time separating her from a run-of-the-mill partisan. I don't know the woman, but I think that if you're a partisan, this is a very opportune moment to push silence the bad guys through the power of government.
Yeah, no, it's so hard to tell anymore. I mean, when you've had enough cameras and microphones stuck in your face, and you have to say, a million words a day to reporters and so many people, I'm willing to, with almost anybody, unless it's something really like flagrant, like I'm glad so and so got shot, right? Unless it's something really flagrant, I sort of err on the side of it might have been just a poor choice of words.
I can give you that with JD Vance, but with Pam Bondi, hate speech has been said by the left for the past 10 years so much that using that same exact terminology just seems like such a gross oversight that
it really was.
It just
and she took a lot of heat for that, and rightly so.
Yeah. I hope she thinks about it. And I hope she's like, oh yeah, that was too far. There is no such thing as hate speech in America. The freedom of speech only protects speech that you hate. It's the pragmatic way to look at it is that freedom of speech it's only there for speech you hate. It's only there for the person that you hate. You need to think of it that practically, right? And that's why the Jimmy Kimmel thing. All right, I'm of two sides of this. One part of me is, bye, bitch, you sucked for years and you lie all the time. I'm not sad to see you go, right? The other side of me is when you have the chairman of the FCC, some guy we've never heard of named Brendan Carr, but now
Yeah.
everybody's heard of, says we can do this the easy way or the hard way, puts FCC regulations to play to get ABC to fire Jimmy Kimmel for what he said. I've seen the clip multiple times.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
That is government overreach. That is a slap in the face of freedom of speech, in my opinion. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. However, I think I could edify you and the audience with just a brief summary here. The Federal Communications Commission regulates words that get said over the public airwaves. It prohibits distortions to be broadcast over them. The FCC prohibits broadcasting false information about a crime or a catastrophe if the broadcaster knows the information is false and will cause substantial public harm if aired. FCC rules specifically say public harm must begin immediately and cause direct and actual damage to property or the health and safety of the general public, or diversion of law enforcement or other public health and safety authorities from their duties. Cable is a different medium. The words and images that come via cable are not through the public broadcasting airwaves or what someone can get on a TV with an antenna. The FCC's regulations only apply to licensed local broadcast outlets that transmit through the airwaves. So you can say, and we can both say, yeah, it was probably a bad idea for Brendan Carr to say, and the quote that he's getting dragged for is, "You guys can do this the easy way, or you can do it the hard way."
We can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC.
That's what he got.
And I saw the clip from the Benny Johnson interview. The man, I see the man on TV. I see another Anthony Fauci type. I see a bureaucrat. I see someone that's like, hey, look at me. I can get the spotlight on me. I can be a big fucking deal. I can be a partisan. I can help Daddy Trump. And I can get this guy who said bad things fired. I don't get the sense of from him that this is a principled free speech person. And free speech is, you and I both agree on this, it's like the number one most important thing on planet Earth. Without free speech, there is nothing. Without free speech, there's no America. And free speech is only for speech that you hate. It seems to me like another guy in a tie, a bureaucrat that sees his moment in the sun, and I don't like it, and I don't trust him. And I understand the technicalities of the FCC. I read the stuff online. There's people on Twitter. But the instinct to cancel free speech is fucking gross. The instinct of, oh, okay, I'm going to use my government organization to get somebody fired because they said something I don't like. And the actual quote from Jimmy Kimmel, I wish I had it in front of me, shows how fucking prepared I am today, doesn't warrant that.
The quote from Jimmy Kimmel was that Tyler Robinson was one of them. He was, that
he said something like the MAGA's so desperate to portray him as not one of them. It's insane to try to fire somebody over that. I'm sorry, dude. I can't see that any other way than that. I've thought about this for hours and hours and hours. I do not see any way that this makes sense, that this is just not another fucking partisan, right? And I get it. Like, a lot of people are kind of in that Trump camp, and a part of me is too, unfortunately, I think, for myself. But just the fucking left, dude, they suck so much. They suck so much, and they've sucked so hard for the past 10 years. And they've said so much evil shit. They burned down cities, and mainstream media never fucking covered it. People don't even know now. A mainstream lefty probably doesn't even know about the Summer of Love in 2020. They don't know about 3 months of firebombing the Portland courthouse, or City Building. I'm sorry, I don't recall which one. They don't remember Chaz Chop in Seattle. Remember fucking Chaz? People
They
died in
don't.
that shit.
Yeah, they don't remember the man that got burned alive at a pawn shop in Minneapolis.
They don't remember the entire
A young black man.
precinct getting taken over and burnt down in Minneapolis. That
Yeah,
was all on video.
yeah.
There's so much gross shit. I understand the vengeance,
Which people,
but this is sorry, almost done. This is when principles are being tested, right? And people in office that represent the United States of America, you now have a real responsibility because you're being tested now. And no part of me thinks that Charlie Kirk would want freedom of speech suspended in any way, shape, or form. He would not want that, not even in the slightest. And I see these people. I'm willing to forgive, especially JD Vance, because that seemed more emotional. Pam Bondi, but this Brendan Carr guy, I don't like it. I don't trust them. And I think it's fucking gross. And I think they should apologize and they should understand what America's all about before they go on TV and start fucking talking again. That's just me. But I'm just some idiot, fucking dumbass Californian. I'm nothing. But what do I know, right?